Thanks so much for joining me for my preview of the Clemson Louisville game coming up this Saturday up at Cardinal Stadium. Hey, I'm Bobby Dirkens. If you don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am Bobby Dirkens. Love Clemson. Have a beautiful, sexy wife. Sexy. Two strapping young men has the honor of calling me their daddy. Bobby Dirkens Jr., Bobby Dirkens Jr. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Last year, Pigskin Pete, Tiger Nation, and Prince 6'1" all went to the Louisville Clemson game. And this past week, we all went to the Florida State game. Lord, it was a joyous time. Got to watch our Tigers absolutely whoop up on a team, and I know it's not a team to write home about and go, look who we beat. I get it. But it was fun watching them destroy Florida State, a team that used to whip our tail here and there for a while. So it was great. I'm telling you, we went down there. Great atmosphere in Clemson. If you've never been to a game, you're really, really missing out. I will tell you what did bother me was there was a lot of ugly people dressing with very little clothing. Made me sick as a dog. You know, before you show off your stuff, you first have to have stuff to show off. Very sickening moments, and a lot of them very sober, believe it or not, who actually looked in the mirror and went, oh yeah, that looks good on me. You did not. You're lying to yourself. I'm not body shaming you. I'm just telling you, you're ugly. We had a great time, a wonderful time. Tiger Nate come up there with us. His same crew, Tiger Nation, Prince 6'1", of course, the Diplomat. And by the way, happy 2-year birthday to Pigskin Pete being on YouTube. He and I met on YouTube at first. First time we talked, I didn't know if he was normal, if he was somebody who was going to try to kidnap me and touch my pee-pee. But fortunately, he was not. He was a good person who had absolutely no interest in even saying the words, my pee-pee. So, good words out to you. He said some really good things about me. I owe him a lot of money for that. Thank you, Pete. We appreciate you, brother. So, let's go ahead and jump into this Florida State, or this Louisville game. Florida State game again, we were at. We had a real good time. Last year, Clemson beat them black and blue, and then continued to beat them. I think it was 77-14. I mean, Lord, after a while, the score is just so big and so large. It's okay if you miss a point or two. Bobby Petrino was fired near the end of the season. Staff's gone. And they come in and they hire Scott Satterfield. I had to look at his name. I keep wanting to call him Jeff. I don't know why. Scott Satterfield had come from Appalachian State. Man, he's been doing it. But he did a good job up there. Whenever I hear all these college football minds go, well, who was so-and-so going to hire? I mean, I know they made a horrible hire, but who they were going to hire? And they don't even mention Satterfield. That tells you how stupid they are. I tell you, there's a different look in his eyes. Lets you know he's in control. Last year, Louisville was 2-10. They were 0-8 in the ACC. And just remember this, just a few years prior, they were in the top 10. At one time as high as, I believe, number 3 with Lamar Jackson. So they didn't only fall. Somebody hit the blow this thing up button. And Lord, did it blow up. This year, they're 4-2 with only a loss to Florida State. That kind of makes me scratch my nuts for a second and go, what happened there? They did lose to Notre Dame. I know Notre Dame is not some just massive power this year. I know they've only lost one game. They lost it to Georgia. I'm not even going to comment there. But Louisville is vastly improved. Now, Pass, he's done for the season from what I understand. Now, if I'm wrong, y'all forgive me. I really don't think it matters that much. But I do pretty sure he is done for the season. Same young man, Mr. Cunningham. Mikal, I think that's his name. 66, 820 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. He played us last year, got blistered in the Valley. He's playing us up there at Cardinal Stadium. The leading rusher is for y'all like me who really doesn't keep up with Louisville because other than Satterfield, you just don't care. 111 carries, 622, 3 touchdowns. All right? And then receiving, Tutu Atwell. 32 receptions, 509, and 6 touchdowns. Now, the name Tutu makes me think of a little song that we used to get around the piano and sing at my papa's house. And it made him laugh, brought him joy. I think probably aside from seeing my grandmother naked, made him happier than anything. We'd all get around the piano and sing, "Don't mess with my tutu, do-do-do-do-do. Don't mess with my tutu." That's a real song, by the way. Go put it in the internet and find it. So, Tutu Atwell, he's telling them DBs, don't mess with my tutu. A little more information that you might want to put in your thinking cap. Now, both these teams are averaging about the same amount of points. Clemson's averaging 39 points per game. Louisville's averaging about 37. Clemson's averaging 497 per game total yardage. Louisville, 489. Now, they've had some easy games, but I'm not going to say much about them considering that last year they managed to suck so bad. So, much improvement. Not going to piss off Satterfield because I think he's that good of a coach. Clemson's averaging about 258 in passing yards. They're averaging about 262. We're averaging 238 rushing. They're averaging about 227. Very similar numbers. It's like trying to pick 2 old coins and figure out which one's the shiniest. There you go. On the defense, this is where they run into a problem. Clemson's only giving up 254 yards per game. Now, granted, a lot of the games this year, Clemson's second and third string is playing a lot of the game. A lot of the second half, all right? So, I'm not going to knock it. That number could even be even more stingy, all right? Clemson only giving up 150 yards passing and only 104 on the ground. Louisville not so lucky. They're giving up 439 yards per game. 264 passing and 174 on the ground. Not good news for that red bird up there. So what I think going to happen? Well, first of all, I'm going to say something that I think that a lot of people's going to think. He's had an aneurysm. He's had a stroke. Maybe had a little doo-doo squirt. He's too embarrassed to get up and go wipe and just start the video over. Maybe so. That's why I buy dark underwear. You can't see a Sharpie mark down there. As sure as a butthole stinks, I believe Louisville is absolutely coming after us. I believe they're going to try their very best to take advantage of us. Satterfield is looking for any reason to look at everybody else. Look at recruits. Even recruits he couldn't even possibly think about getting. And say, we played with Clemson. We even possibly beat them. I mean, Clemson's a 24-point favorite. And quite honestly, not too much of a difference between them and North Carolina. Not too much of a difference. Looks a lot the same. All right? Right? A lot of improvement. Last year sucked butthole. This year, looks like they might actually be invited to sit at the big boy table. And the big boy table would be complete by knocking off the defending national champions and a forerunner to get to the college football playoff and win the national championship. This would be the grandest thing that he could pitch to recruits. I believe our depth, our talent, and our tenure in coaching, I always harp on that. will win this game for us. I believe we will cover the 24-point win. I believe in the first half, they are going to do their very best to stick with us. I think we could even see a couple of stalled drives for Clemson. Maybe a missed field goal. Clemson's bad to do that. And I know this past week to come out, open up an early can on Florida State. I get it. I'm just saying, I believe that early on, everybody's going to be fired up. We saw how tough they played Notre Dame. And quite honestly, if they'd not turned over the ball like they were giving away early Christmas presents, there's a great chance they could have knocked off the Irish. And I believe that. Go back and watch that game. Our depth is going to win this game. We will beat them by 24 plus points. My personal feeling, I think we're looking at somewhere around 38-10. I think once we take control of the thing, Dabo's going to do what he always does. Second string's coming in. Get down towards the end of the game, especially if it's even more commanding, we're going to see the third string. So don't be surprised even if Louisville gets 17 on us. It's how Florida State did this past week. It was 28-0 for a long time. And we had second, third string, fourth string. I think they even let an old woman who her dying wish was to play for Clemson. They actually let her go out there and play against Florida State. She had 2 tackles and 1 pass breakup. That's what's going to happen. I do believe 38-10. 38-10-ish feels pretty good for me. Clemson wins this ball game. Hey, listen, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I'm glad you're here. You can find me on Twitter at B Dirkens. You also find me on Instagram at the Bobby Dirkens. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. Lord knows, I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.